Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Dr. T, PhD, the prodigy of sports psychology, here welcoming a brand new guest for the very first time. Before I tell you who she is, I'd like to ask everyone out there if you please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to be bringing someone new here on GoTarryn TV for the very first time. She is a sports psychologist. Her name is Paula Castro. She's also here in the greater Atlanta area as I am, and it's going to be our first time being able to meet here on Skype, so I'm excited to bring her on. And as I mentioned, she has a master's degree in sports psychology, and she specializes in all areas of different sports and fitness. So she's going to be a wonderful guest to definitely delve into and just ask and interview and pick her brain and just talk about her working philosophy and everything that she offers in her services here on GoTarryn TV. So I can't wait to bring her on here and introduce you to her. And as I have the pleasure of meeting her for the very first time as well, so this is going to be a true treat for everybody here watching, but also for yours truly. So we will have Paula Castro right here on in just a few moments. And remember, with GoTarryn Health and Fitness, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back, everyone. As I promised, we do have Paula Castro here with us today. Paula, how are you doing out there today?
Doing great. How are you?
Good, thank you. And thanks so much for taking the time to come out here and chat today. And Paula, since this is our first time kind of getting to know each other and just doing a one-on-one interview, I wanted to spend the first half of the video just kind of get to know you and have all the listeners out there who can kind of learn a little bit more about what you do and your services. So first question is kind of a fully loaded question. Just can you kind of go ahead and go into detail on how you got into, sports psychology and health and fitness? Where did it all begin? Where did the journey start?
Yeah, of course. So I've always been an athlete myself. I actually played tennis in college. So I started off in a D1 school. I played there for 2 years, and then I transferred and I played for a D3 school for the other 2 years. And I always knew I wanted to do something related to psychology.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I found a way to mix both the athletic part and the psychology. So I went on and got a master's degree in sports psychology. So yeah, it all kind of like came together to how to join, how to make those two work. And yeah, I've been working. I graduated from my master's in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a ride. It's been a fun ride. And yeah, it's good to see how it is a business that can be adjusted easily to, online platforms and all these things we're dealing with in the last year and a half, almost 2 years now. Yeah, certainly. That's a good point, Paula, because I remember you and I were chatting a little bit, and I'm going to go into that asking you about your services, because I know that part of it you do offer online coaching as well. But before the pandemic, Paula, how did your business model, did it change at all in terms of kind of a drastic shift and a big adjustment, or was this something that you look back now and kind of see that's a benefit, or did it not change much at all, or were you already doing virtual training online before COVID, or how did that all happen in the last, would you say, year and a half or two? Yeah, so it's funny that you ask, because I actually started kind of like a hybrid online with half online, half in person, because like I said, I graduated in 2020. So before then, I was working as an intern for a school in Florida. I'm located in Atlanta in Georgia. So I was going back and forth to Florida for the in-person meetings. But then I was also meeting with them online. I was going every other week or so on, once or twice a month, to meet with the athletes in person. And then it would be online when I was here in Georgia. So even before the pandemic, it was kind of like a hybrid already. it got to a point in 2020 where everything shifted to be 100% online.
Okay.
But and especially at the beginning, because people really didn't know, some people weren't comfortable meeting with anyone in person, even if it was at a distance. So it's kind of being, adjusted to whatever the client prefers. Today, I would say most of the work is done online. But if I have clients from my area, I do meet every now and then. It's mostly online, but if I want to do something on the court or on the field, something specific, that session's going to be in person. That session we're going to be both on the field or in the court when it's necessary. Again, I also work with clients out of state, so those are all completely online. So I would say it's still a mix. It's always been a mix for me. It's still there. A little bit more online than in person, but it depends on every client and what they want.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. So, yeah, Paula, I guess as we get into and delve into your philosophy and training and such, what do you find most rewarding, would you say, about working with your clients, and what's most rewarding about being in this field of, sports psychology?
The most rewarding is when clients are committed and they do the work they need to do in order to improve. I work with different ages, but especially the youngest kids, some of them are more committed than others. So the rewarding part is seeing when they are committed and when they're working outside of the sessions, when they take all these skills, all these exercises to their practice and to their everyday life, so that they improve much quicker. So, of course, it's always rewarding, and you can probably relate to this. And in the fitness part, when you see the progress and when you see that the person is committed and they're doing what they need to be doing in order to get better. So yeah. Yeah,
very true, Paula. And in terms of your own personal fitness and regimen, did you get affected with the changes that happened, or were you able to adjust with your own workouts? Because you mentioned about how people were not wanting to meet. And sometime here in Atlanta, Georgia, when it first happened, for example, a lot of fitness centers were closed. In fact, I don't know if any were open for a few months when COVID first happened. But how did your own personal workouts kind of get affected, if so?
So my workouts are mainly tennis. So luckily, that's one of the few sports that you have no contact with another person. It's all open. It's all outdoors. You can keep a safe distance. No need to have any contact.
Yeah.
Not even with the ball.
That's a good point.
You can always pick up the ball with the racket as well.
Yeah.
So luckily that part wasn't affected for me. But I know, gyms and facilities that were mostly indoors.
Yeah.
Those were getting closed down, and people weren't able to get their workouts in those. Yeah,
that's true. And what's interesting, Paula, is I noticed here in Buckhead, where I train a lot, they actually closed down the the tennis courts for a period. I think it was actually for a few months. They had actually put tape around and closed down and locked up most of the public tennis courts, which I didn't quite understand that really, to be honest with you, because since it's an outside activity, and as you mentioned, there's not much contact potentially. Why tennis courts would have been closed, but I'm happy to hear. It sounds like you didn't run into that problem for your own, though. No.
There were a couple courts I saw that they took the nets out.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it's just lack of information. At the beginning, people really didn't know what could be done, what couldn't be done, what was safe, what wasn't.
Right. Yeah. Kind of overreacted, it sounds like there.
Exactly. But it happened a lot with public courts as well. But neighborhood courts, I play, some people have courts in their neighborhoods and stuff like that. So those weren't taken down.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess it depends on the county as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And still, it looks like there's some kind of misinformation and misunderstanding with how we're getting through this thing. That's
Yeah.
definitely another video blog. But yeah, you know, and back to the whole sports psychology of it. A lot of it, as you know, is mindful health and mental toughness and things like self-determination and motivation. So when dealing with all that with your clients, what's kind of your approach with trying to kind of help them get motivated and, you know, just get their inner drive going? What's some of the things that you like to do with your clients?
So it really depends on what area they need help with.
Yeah.
Like you said, for example, motivation is a big factor in
Mm-hmm.
sports, and always, setting smart goals or that they can follow, that they can measure, that
Yeah.
they can go step by step. That gives you motivation because they have you have an end date, you have a deadline in order
That's
to
true.
complete it.
Right. Exactly.
So smart goals are always good to help with motivation, but it really depends on what they need help with, whether it's nerves, whether it's concentration, pressure, injury recovery, burnout. There's so many things that go into sports, especially when they get to the competitive level.
Mm-hmm.
That it goes from just being a hobby to maybe it can become a moneymaker for them, or maybe it can become, what college they go into, or,
Mm-hmm.
and what scholarships they get. So there's a lot of factors that come in when they start playing competitive, that all this pressure, all these nerves start coming in, which is when the mental part becomes more important, because every sport is not only physical, but it's also mental, and that mental side is very, very, very important in order to handle all that pressure from competitions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very true. You're right. There's so many times where in fitness centers, a lot of people will quit their gym membership. You know, we'll see it happen. For example, like New Year's, first day of the new year, January 1st is when we have a big influx. People join. And you see a lot of people that will try for a week or maybe 2 weeks, maybe even a month, and then they just drop off. And those are usually the, normal casualties. But do you run into that much with seeing how people kind of just, it's too much, or they, it's just they give up too easily? Or is that something that, can be easily fixed? What's your take on that with the people that kind of lack that motivation and just kind of quit too early?
Yeah, so it definitely happens. It happens everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
In sports, I would say some sports are more prone to that than others.
Yeah.
For example, from what I've run into, swimming is a very high burnout sport because it is very monotonous.
Mm-hmm.
And very high intensity, monotonous, and
I could see that.
maybe
Yeah.
you don't see results on a daily basis, so
Right.
it's easy to get burnout. And like you were mentioning in the gym, that goes along with the smart goal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Start joining all these, they join the gym, but they don't really have a plan, right? So it's easy to quit if you don't really have a plan. If you don't know, okay, I joined the gym, but now what? What are my goals? Where do I want to be in a month? Where do I want to be in 2 weeks? Why am I doing this? So it's important for them to find a purpose of, all right, I'm joining because of this. Here's what I want. I want to get, more muscle, or I want to lose weight, or I want to have more endurance, or anything. I just want to get moving and be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all these types of purposes, of reasons why people join the gyms, that it's important that they have a clear path in order to get to their end goal.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they just join it just to join it, that's easier to quit and to lose motivation halfway, because you don't even know what you want, what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so true. You're right, Paula. And I would think here in Atlanta, too, there would be a great need, especially what you mentioned earlier, working with kids and children. I would think that in especially the area where I work in Buckhead, I have a lot of parents who really want the best for their kids, and they really push them hard. They take them to these games, and so I would think in Buckhead for sure your services would be of great value. What I'm thinking of is big time, like these private schools, these very wealthy, affluent private schools that are here. Do you work with any of those, Paul, or have you considered reaching out and kind of making connections and networking out to any of those schools there?
So far, I've worked with more with academies
Okay.
or facilities that they
Yeah.
have, swimming, tennis,
Right.
baseball, soccer, diving,
Yeah.
that they reach out. But schools, kids' schools, I haven't worked with any as of
Okay.
now. There's always the option. There's always if there is an opportunity, that's great. But mostly, what I've personally worked most with is private academies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that's great. I mean, I would think definitely the private academies would have their sports leagues and groups, so there's probably an endless amount of potential opportunity there. But again, just in Atlanta, I just see that how these parents are so driven and pushing their kids to want them to be the best and eventually, go to college, get these scholarships and such. So I think your services would be in high demand for sure here in Atlanta. But again, getting back to the option of virtually working with you, I think that's great that you offer that, because when you and I first met, you had mentioned also that you have clients that you see not only in Atlanta, but just distant as well. Where are some of the people that you work with as far as some of the remote clients that you work with?
All over.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Even some online ones are in Atlanta, and it's still online. But
Hey, okay.
I have people from Texas, Arizona, California.
Wow.
I'm from South Carolina.
Oh,
from
gosh.
coast to coast.
Yeah.
And then also, so I'm originally from Ecuador.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
I do have clients from there as well, and from a couple Central American countries. So really all over. That's a good thing that COVID brought us. That it's not limited to only clients that are in your same area, but it kind of let you expand the reach.
Yeah, I mean, that's wonderful. That's fantastic. I assume you must be bilingual too.
Yeah.
So that's a great help as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All the clients I have from South and Central America, all the sessions are done in Spanish.
Oh, wow.
And the ones here in the US are all English.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Was our mutual friend Paula Ruth? Was she available to finally connect with you? I don't know if you had both connected and talked yet.
I have not been able to connect with her yet.
Oh, okay.
But we talked. Right. We talked, and we're definitely hopping on a call sometime soon.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I think y'all will work really well together. Definitely. It'll be a great connection. She's from Chile, actually, originally.
Oh, nice.
That's her home. Yeah, so she goes down to Chile sometimes. And she's also bilingual as well.
Awesome.
But... Yeah, I think that'll be a great working relationship there. And so kind of delving into your services, Paula, now, when someone signs up with you, can you I know it's a blanket kind of generalized question, but maybe in best ways of when someone signs up with you, let's just use tennis, for example, what could they expect in terms of your services and kind of like, working with them? What do you like to get into? How do you like to evaluate them? How do you like to push them? And, going on that in just a general kind of sample session, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. So I offer different packages. So you can sign up for one session. You can sign up for a package of 5
cool.
or a package of 10 sessions.
Great.
Sessions are usually 45 minutes long. And what you can expect for the first one, it's called an intake interview.
Okay.
So the first session is always me getting to know the client, asking a bunch of questions about their sports career, about their family, everything. It's basically me gathering as much information as possible so that I know what they need to work on. the reason why they need to work on that and basically get into the root of everything. So the intake interview is mainly that. And once I gather all the necessary information to get started with something, then, we'll go into that with the next session and so on.
Great. Very good. And when the clients, or if they're listening out there, and we'll get a chance to plug your information here too, what's the best ways they can directly reach and contact you if they're wanting to connect and reach out to you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. They can reach out and follow me on Instagram. It's Paula Sports Psych. And also cell phone and email work as well.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, that's great. Do you do the remote sessions like we're doing on Skype, or do you use Zoom, or what's...
I usually use Zoom.
Zoom, yeah. It seems like Zoom is the preferred media platform for doing those things. I guess they must have an edge as far as being the best in terms of, things like video compatibility, and if you're doing it on your phone or computer. So that's the neat thing, that all they need is that, and you can just do it right there with them.
Yeah, I like the tools that Zoom has, where you can draw on the screen. You have
right, exactly.
It's very interactive.
Yeah, I'm still learning about all that. You're right. I mean, I've been doing these video blogs for years on Skype, but then once I was introduced to Zoom, like you said, that's a good word, interactive. There's so much I could learn on that, and it's really interesting you said that, because I've noticed that myself, how intuitive it is.
Yeah.
That's great. And Paula, now just jumping off subject a little bit, how about for your own personal life with the holidays coming up? Do you have any plans and fun and enjoyment planned here for the rest of the year for yourself, your family?
Yeah, I'm actually very excited about the holidays coming up. I'm going to be heading down to Florida. I'm ready for that warm weather, especially in days like these in Atlanta, that you can barely see the buildings next to you because it's so foggy. So yeah, I'll be heading down to the Sunshine State for the holidays. How about you? What are your plans?
Good for you. Probably just hanging out here, taking it easy, just work. It's, kind of funny. My family lives in Florida. They're coming up from, I don't know if you're familiar with Sandestin. It's in the Panhandle area.
Yep.
They'll be coming up to see me for Christmas. Where in Florida do you go down to?
I'm going to be going more south. Fort Lauderdale area.
Yeah, that beautiful area.
Yeah. But definitely during the year, I've been to Destin before, and I really like that area. The beaches are amazing. So
yeah,
awesome.
They're pretty, but I think you're right. I think Fort Lauderdale will be better because further south you go, you're going to have definitely a little bit warmer climate, because down in Destin it's almost not this quite as cold as we get, but they're still not as warm, obviously, as you get down to Fort Lauderdale. That's a beautiful area. I love that area as well. So that's exciting. Yeah, that's really nice. How about another question for you, Paula? What about the New Year's, with looking into New Year 2022, any goals or resolutions that you're looking to achieve as you set out, like looking at your long-range goals and plans?
Yep. So next year, exciting year. I'm partnering with a couple sports psychology companies. So that's very exciting. I actually just got off a meeting this morning with a sports psychology company. So
great.
Looking great. Yeah, next year is looking great. I'm excited for all these new projects and to grow my clientele.
That's excellent. Yeah, I mean, that's exciting. Again, I mentioned earlier when you and I were talking, is that I really think that there's so much potential in what you're doing. And I think that the opportunity is just such a gold mine for you that it sounds like it's going to really explode for you here. Especially, I can't say enough with how this pandemic has affected a lot of people's motivation and kind of gotten people to where they really need your help. And I think that that's something really crucial that they can rely on you for to help them out with. Totally.
Yeah, totally. And I'm happy you say that, because I know this industry is growing a lot. And, before, maybe decades ago, it was unheard of, sports psychology. Mm-hmm. But little by little, people are getting to know about it more and getting to know how much it helps to work on the mental side of the sports, and not only on on the physical side.
Yeah, that's true. And, your specialty with tennis, Paula, is that, and you already know this, but a lot of these big fitness centers, there's some really avid tennis players, obviously, and people really wanting tennis coaching. So, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like some of these elite, really nice fitness centers such as Concourse Athletic Club and Midtown Athletic Club, and some of the really high-end ones like Lifetime Athletic, even some of the LA Fitnesses, I'll say, some of them are really trying to cater into being more of a boutique with tennis and offering the best. So if you were to work with them as well, I think right there's another potential opportunity as well, because these country clubs are another great venue, like Cherokee Club, Piedmont Driving Club, Ansley Club, the rest of them. I think that if you were to work with any of them, I bet that a lot of them would want your services as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a good niche here in Atlanta for sports psychology.
For sure. Yeah, it's just endless. It's like you said. Yeah, the industry is growing, which is excellent. So that's really good to hear. Well, Paula, again, thank you so much. This has been a fast 30 minutes. It flew by so quickly. But before we let you go,
thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. And let's plug your Instagram one more time, please. How the people can email and call you on your phone. What's the best way to find you on Instagram?
It's at Paula Sport Psych. That's PSYCH.
Great. Excellent. We'll get that on the screen here as we fade to black. And I can't thank you enough, Paula. Yeah, this is wonderful. So
thank you. I appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
I appreciate your opportunity.
Absolutely.
To get me on your channel.
Yeah, definitely. It's so much fun. Let's do this again. And in the meantime, I wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Paula.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
Soon.
Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.